Things are getting more messy for Brown Mogotsi, the alleged ANC political fixer. The man who came to the Madlanga Commission and was nicknamed "I don't want to incriminate myself." The man who came down from his own car, shot at it severally to stage his own assassination attempt. The man who gave the home address of another person as his own, so that he can be granted bail for him to escape arrest. He came to court fully loaded with different lawyers today in order to pull a shocking stunt similar to Joe Ferrari Sibagnoni and get out of prison, but he was shocked. An old video of him confessing to a murder and his attempt to threaten witnesses while behind bars betrayed him. At a point, he couldn't control his emotions and broke down without shame in front of everyone. From an ANC fixer to behind bars, and all his attempts to get himself out was futile. In all the court appearances he has made so far, this one is most entertaining because of what happened. Jabulani, show us what really happened, why he broke down in tears and cried about his family, and what exactly his lawyers said.
State is in possession of the affidavit of the investigating officer. The statement reads as thus: I, the undersigned Alfred Robert Odendaal, hereby state under oath in English as follows. 1. I am an adult male employed by the South African Police Services, herein after subs as a detective, Lieutenant Colonel with service number, and currently stationed at Provincial Investigation Service, Provincial Head Office, Gauteng of South African Police Services. 2. I have been appointed as a member of the South African Police Services in terms of Section 30 of the South African Police Service Act 68 of 1998, the South African Police Service. 3. I have also been appointed as an investigating officer in the case currently before court, to wit Vosloorus, 4/13 of 3/2026 and Vosloorus case 39 of 11/2025. 4. I am duly authorized to depose to this affidavit and to do so in support of the state opposing the application for bail by the applicant. 5. The facts contained herein are, in my personal knowledge, unless the contrary is stated or the context indicates otherwise. The facts stated herein are, to the best of my knowledge and belief, both true and correct. 6. I was supplied with affidavits of memory, Katharina Jacoba Harold, Maxwell Senokwane, and Dorothy Lekwaba, as well as documentation in relation to bail application on new facts that the applicant wants to bring before this honorable court. 7. My response to the application is, in this regard, is set out as follows. 8. I am not in dispute of the affidavit supplied by a memory, Katrina Jacoba Harold. I followed up with her and want to add that a further statement from memory Katrina Jacoba Harold was obtained and attached as AR 01 to the statement. Her affidavit indicates that this address was not a permanent address to the applicant, as he was only held to stay at the address whilst on parole. The applicant had no other address. He resided at the address for about 13 months. 9. A Maxwell Senokwane statement supplied. I dispute that he was present when Thandiwe Senokwane statement was obtained. That we were told or shown at any stage that Opa Brown Mogotsi resides 3 houses from there. Lieutenant Colonel Mzizi, who was present and obtained the statement of Thandiwe Senokwane at the time attached by my statement as AR 02. 10. I confirm that we did not mention that Opa Brown Mogotsi resides 3 houses from there, as we could not know it. As the address supplied to us by the applicant was house number 4454, and that was the house address that was visited by us to be verified as the address of Opa Mogotsi's residence. 11. I must point out that the statement of Maxwell Senokwane is stamped with the date, with the date stamp dated 2026-06-9, but the date by the Commission of Oath is dated 2026-06-2026. This is a form of, this is a concern, as this indicates that the Commission of Oath commission the statement in the future. This indicates to me that this could not be this could be a falsified document attached AR 05. 12. I also believe that Maxwell Senokwane was possibly intimidated and coerced in making the statement, if the statement was indeed made by him on 2026-06-9. I will elaborate on this belief further down in my statement. 13. Statement by Dorothy Lekwaba. I dispute the fact that I saw any personal documentation of Opa Brown Mogotsi. I indicated in my supplementary statement in the bail application, which is marked as Exhibit D, that no personal documents or other belongings except for few clothing which could be shown as it was requested to verify the address. 14. I want to place on record that at bail application, it was placed before the court by the applicant that even the famous red jacket that was worn by the applicant at the Matlanga Commission was not at the residence visited by myself, and it can be seen on the photos taken by me attached to my supplementary statement in the bail application, which is marked as Exhibit D, as AR 02. I'm disputing it as the applicant wore a bright red jacket at the commission, and that was not found at the address. The photos taken by me also does not depict any red jacket found at the address. 15. Dorothy Lekwaba confirms that according to the lease agreement contract, the landlord Albert Moisakhosi with ID cannot be traced. However, it is still in my view, looking at the discrepancies of the document as set out in my supplementary statement in the bail application, which is marked as Exhibit D, that this lease document is a false document. 16. It is proven that the person, Albert Moisakhosi, is not the registered owner or a person that the property is leased to by the owner in my supplementary statement and supporting documents in the bail application, in the bail application, which is marked as Exhibit D. 17. I further want to place on record that documents supplied now as to the statement of extent attached AR03 indicates the correct number 4544 Mohatla Street, Mabatu. This indicates that the applicant and via the statement of Dorothy Lekwaba in the bail application provided false information to the court and brought the court under false impression on the address 4454 Moshu Street, Mabatu. This now indicates that they deliberately tried to mislead the court, as they must have been in possession of the documents with the right details. 18. In the bail application, which is marked as Exhibit B, I did not have any comment relating to consideration of, in terms of section 60, subsection 4, paragraph C of the CPA. That would be interfere with state witnesses. However, my view in this regard changed due to the new evidence obtained. 19. On 6 June 2026, I received a call from Lieutenant Colonel Mzizi informing me that she received a strange call from Thandiwe Senokwane. She informed me that the call did not make sense to her, as she was requested to read the statement back to Thandiwe Senokwane that she supplied, although she was in possession of a photo of the statement. 20. On 8 June 2026, on Monday, I received a call from Thandiwe Senokwane, and she informed me that she was visited by Dorothy Lekwaba at her house. She was told by Dorothy Lekwaba that she must give another statement stating that house number is the same as Dorothy Lekwaba house number. She informed me that she feels intimidated, and this was now on the third time being visited by Dorothy Lekwaba, and coerced her to give a false statement. 21. I informed her that she must visit or call the police and open a case if that is indeed the case. Paragraph 22. On 12th of June 2026, whilst at court, I was phoned by Thandiwe Senokwane informing me that again she was visited by Dorothy Lekwaba, and she really feels threatened as she already informed them not to come to her house anymore. She also informed me that on 5 June 2026, while Dorothy Lekwaba was at her house, Dorothy Lekwaba received a call and handed the phone to her. And it was Brown Mogotsi speaking to her. 23. She informed me that she did not open a case and does not know what to do. I informed her that she must supply me with the case number to follow up. She did not supply the case number. She did and supplied the case number. It's Mabatu Cas 81 of 6, 2026, a charge of intimidation. 24. I inquired and found out that the case is under investigation. 25. I obtained a copy of the case docket and statements attached as ARO 4. 26. I am now of the view that the applicant can and will interfere with the state witnesses indirectly and directly, even to communicate with state witnesses from prison to threaten and coerce state witnesses to supply false statements. 27. Taking the above into consideration, it is my view that there is a great possibility that the statement supplied by Maxwell Senokwane, therefore, a reasonable inference should be drawn by the court that the statement was not obtained freely and voluntarily, as mentioned in paragraph 12. The author had been coerced to make such a statement. Your Worship, this was signed by the author of this affidavit. Your Worship, I would want to read the statement of Mzizi into the record, which is marked as AR02. The statement reads as thus: Nontobeko Lorraine Mzizi, state under oath in English that I am a Lieutenant Colonel in the South African Police Services, attached at the Provincial Head Office, Cold Case Investigation Unit, Cleveland Subs, with cell number, paragraph 3, on 20th May 2026, I was requested by Lieutenant Colonel Odendaal to escort him to Mabatu to go and verify the address of the suspect Brown Mogotsi on the above case number. At around 12 o'clock, we arrived at 4454 Unit 13 Mabatu. On arrival, we found an African female who introduced herself as Thandiwe Senokwane. I then asked the lady if she is residing at that address. She said yes, and she has been staying there for more than 20 years. I then asked her if Brown Mogotsi is residing at the address, and she said no. She said no one by that name resides at that address, and she does not know anyone by that name. 4. I then went to the car that was parked at the gate to inform the other subs members that was with us about the information that we just received. That is when Lieutenant Colonel Odendaal asked me to take the statement of Thandiwe Senokwane in writing regarding the information that she just told us. I then went back and took a statement from Thandiwe Senokwane. While I was busy writing a statement, a gentleman entered the house and he introduced himself as Thandiwe Senokwane's son. I continued to take the statement and left my cell phone number as well as the cell phone number for Lieutenant Colonel Odendaal, because the woman was complaining that she does not feel safe, as it was not the first time people coming to look for Brown Mogotsi at her address, at her house. 5. At no stage did anyone show me or Lieutenant Colonel Odendaal a house belonging to Brown Mogotsi, because Mrs. Thandiwe Senokwane indicated that she does not know Brown Mogotsi. She only saw him the first time in the news on TV. I did not take statement from Mrs. Thandiwe Senokwane's son, and he never pointed out any house to me or to anyone in my presence. On 6 June 2026, around 18:15, I received a phone call from 069-506-5552, and it was Mrs. Senokwane on the phone, and she asked me to say what she wrote on the statement on 20th of May 2026 when we came to her house. I became shocked and surprised as to why would she want me to explain what she wrote on her statement. I then said to her, why must I explain? Because she took a photo of her statement before we leave on that day. I could sense that something was not right, and I said if she does not feel safe, she must call the police and report. After the phone call, I immediately phoned Lieutenant Colonel Odendaal and informed him about the strange phone call that I just received from Mrs. Senokwane. I tried to call Mrs. Senokwane again, but the phone was just ringing. Your Worship, that is the statement, which is AR02. Your Worship, the statement has also referred to a docket that was registered in Mabatu, the docket of intimidation, the docket that was registered by Thandiwe Senokwane. Your Worship, I would read one of the statements in the docket, which has been compiled by Thandiwe Senokwane. Your Worship, I will just start off from paragraph number 2. On paragraph number 2, it's on 5 of June 2026 at about 9:30 hours at my residential place, together with my...
At the point where the judge was about to make his final decision, Mogotsi was at high alert, thinking something positive will come out of the proceedings, but he was disappointed. His reaction alone is enough to make your day. Jabulani, roll out that interesting clip for my lovely people. Let's watch it together.
Exhibit B, I did not have any comment relating to consideration of, in terms of section 60, subsection 4, paragraph C of the CPA. That would be interfere with state witnesses. However, my view in this regard changed due to the new evidence obtained. 19. On 6 June 2026, I received a call from Lieutenant Colonel Mzizi informing me that she received a strange call from Thandiwe Senokwane. She informed me that the call did not make sense to her, as she was requested to read the statement back to Thandiwe Senokwane that she supplied, although she was in possession of a photo of the statement. 20. On 8 June 2026, on Monday, I received a call from Thandiwe Senokwane, and she informed me that she was visited by Dorothy Lekwaba at her house. She was told by Dorothy Lekwaba that she must give another statement stating that house number is the same as Dorothy Lekwaba house number. She informed me that she feels intimidated, and this was now on the third time being visited by Dorothy Lekwaba, and coerced her to give a false statement. 21. I informed her that she must visit or call the police and open a case if that is indeed the case. Paragraph 22. On 12th of June 2026, whilst at court, I was phoned by Thandiwe Senokwane informing me that again she was visited by Dorothy Lekwaba, and she really feels threatened as she already informed them not to come to her house anymore. She also informed me that on 5 June 2026, while Dorothy Lekwaba was at her house, Dorothy Lekwaba received a call and handed the phone to her. And it was Brown Mogotsi speaking to her. 23. She informed me that she did not open a case and does not know what to do. I informed her that she must supply me with the case number to follow up. She did not supply the case number. She did and supplied the case number. It's Mabatu Cas 81 of 6/2026, a charge of intimidation. 24. I inquired and found out that the case is under investigation. 25. I obtained a copy of the case docket and statements attached as ARO 426. I am now of the view that the applicant can and will interfere with the state witnesses indirectly and directly, even to communicate with state witnesses from prison to threaten and coerce state witnesses to supply false statements. 27. Taking the above into consideration, it is my view that there is a great possibility that the statement supplied by Maxwell Senokwane, therefore, a reasonable inference should be drawn by the court that the statement was not obtained freely and voluntarily, as mentioned in paragraph 12. The author had been coerced to make such a statement. Your Worship, this was signed by the author of this affidavit. Your Worship, I would want to read the statement of Mzizi into the record, which is marked as AR02.
From the look of things, this case is heading towards a life imprisonment, and we would all see that happening soon. This man is too corrupt, too dirty to go scot-free, hence the state has refused to grant him bail. His name has appeared several times at the Madlanga Commission in multiple high-profile cases involving top criminal syndicates. What will implicate him the most was his confession he made at ad hoc committee. He confessed to a murder case he committed in 2010 and how he evaded justice through corruption. He never knew that confession will hunt him in the future, and now he is dancing to the tune of the music. He. These are things we love to see. Jabulani, roll out that clip. Let's call it a day.
And when they charged you, the charge was it culpable homicide or murder?
It was murder, and then it was murder. But my defense was intending to apply for culpable, to convert it to culpable homicide. But before the trial, then the matter was withdrawn.
You had already pleaded?
Yes, I was going to plead not guilty.
No, I'm asking if you had pleaded.
Yes, in a Schedule 6, what happens? Yes, that's correct. In a Schedule 6 of Schedule 5-6, you have to plead, yes, before going to trial. I pleaded not guilty.
Yeah, and when you plead not guilty, they would have said to you, you are charged with the murder of so and so and so, whatever. Do you understand the charges? You say yes, and then you plead not guilty or guilty, then you say not guilty. So they told you it's murder.
That's correct.
Which means there was a prima facie evidence of murder.
I don't know.
No, that's why they charged you with murder. Okay. If they didn't have a prima facie case of murder, they would have changed it themselves into culpable homicide.
That's correct.
And then witnesses didn't show up.
There was no witness. It was very far. When I took this person to the clinic, then this person arrived.
Okay.
And he later passed on.
No, thanks.